everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Neverwinter Nights 2. Last episode, we've been going through this, through Jerro's haven. It's filled with demons and devils, 6 of them all throughout the place. We managed to get their assistance so that we could actually get into the laboratory at the center and deal with the master of this place. It wasn't too bad, we didn't do anything too questionable. Meanwhile, Chandra's been teleporting through this place. Hopefully we can find her. For now, though, let's see if we can deal with the Master. Well, we're here.
Don't like the sound of that!
Our presence is now known to the guardians of this place. Let us prepare ourselves.
Well, that must be him.
Intruders, unbidden and unwelcome. Are you prepared to pay the price?
Why am I not surprised to find you here?
You? How you entered this place is a mystery, but it was a mistake. One which will soon be why you have brought gifts. You carry the shards, and one is even lodged inside you. Interesting. Let me take them off your hands, and from your corpse.
Yeah, I'd like to see you try. That summon is dead. If I bash this, what happens? Oh good, can we attack him now? Good, we can. Destroy him. You think you have won? You are fools.
Looks like you're not so tough after all. King of Shadows, my tail.
This one has been defeated. But no, it is not the King of Shadows.
I won't do what you want. There's another way. There has to be.
Of course there is. But the only other way is letting its friends die here, now.
You're lying.
Chandra, even you know the truth can wound more than any lie.
You and your allies are stronger than I anticipated. But I will bear these indignities no longer. This entire sanctuary is my weapon. All who are trapped here fuel my power. I can harness the energies of this place, bind them to me. I can summon flame from the walls, turn the air in your lungs to fire. And you are nothing more than leaves caught in a storm. Did you really think you could face me here and survive?
It feels it. The lives of those others are about to be snuffed out. In moments, the decision of Chandra of Jerro will matter not, and Jerro will have this day.
It can't be him. It makes no sense. How did he survive? Where has he been, and why, after all this time?
Do such questions matter when death is so close at hand? The wizard they face is blood of Jerro. It knows this. As for those you travel with, reach out to them. Feel them die.
Oh dear.
You can't beat him. The only way to do it is to free the demons. They're granting all his power.
Chandra?
There's a way to stop him, but it's going to require some blood being spilt. Mine.
Listen, we're not beaten yet, so just keep yourself safe.
There's no way I'm letting you die. Not after all we've been through.
What do I need to do?
It already knows the blood of Jerro allows free travel in this place, so it can travel easily to each one caged. But if it wishes to set us free, shedding of Jerro blood is all that is needed.
Oh my. And what is this delightful little present? Oh, my dear. You've cut yourself. Now why would you do such a thing?
Oh dear.
Yes, you are almost done. This pain will soon end, and your sacrifice will save the souls of many.
This is the end for you. I will bury your bodies in the walls of this place and leave you to... What have you done? No!
Tell me he did not just run from us. Oh, he's really making me mad.
Know that we must follow that one. If not, he will bring ruin upon us and this plane.
He's just lucky I didn't beat him when he was tossing me around and snapping my ribs. Oh, I say let's go after him. Pay him back, eh?
We shall have to.
I command you, stay! I am your master, your lord!
Command me? You command nothing, Jerro. But know that it is I who have set your undoing in motion. And with a truth, no less. Whether you die or live, I will see you soon, I think.
Return to the circle! It binds you, and through it...
A woman has undone you, Jerro. As it should be. Don't fret. We shall see you again.
Zexus is free! Zexus will tear you limb from limb, Jerro! Then stitch you back together into new shapes with your own sinew. And after that, Zexus will cut you and wear your hollowed-out skin on my talons like a glove.
Every circle broken, and without me knowing it being done. How?
Ah, Jerro. Just in time to see my departure. I did so want to see your face as I slipped from your grasp.
You. Who has done this? I must know.
By your own blood betrayed, Jerro. I would stay and savor your imminent death if I could, but I have already tasted your bloodline, and such a sweet, noble thing it is.
Betrayed. But I still have the power to stop it. There is still time. You, answer me. How was this done? You see plots within plots. I command you, answer me.
Of all the circles and wheels, plots and deceptions, you still have the audacity to blame me for what your blindness has wrought. I could not have orchestrated such a tragedy as has befallen you, little wizard. I admit a trace of envy winds its way around my heart. Perhaps we shall speak of it in a time not far from now, when you burn upon my fires. But for now, go to the last and see the truth for what it is.
Me phasm.
Chandra.
What you have done is brave, but foolish, Chandra Jerro.
You, girl! You did this!
My friends, are they...
Your friends live, but you will not! You destroyed my summoning circle! You set the deadliest creatures in the lower realms free! You have weakened me, and in so doing, you have earned death.
I know, Grandfather. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Chandra.
Grandfather, what is this?
It is truth, Amen, and by such truths is one damned.
I have no kin. All were killed in the war against the King of Shadows. It's not possible.
Blood finds a way, Amon. Always.
You lie!
You know only Jerro blood could have broken the circles in this haven, as her blood has now broken mine. There are laws, Jerro, and when one carries such laws too far, they will take you where I go now.
I don't know what this wounded bit means. Hopefully it wears off. Let's get out of here. Hold on, is there anything else here to loot? I don't think so. What the hell is this thing? There.
Your command.
You, Warlock. Chandra.
He killed Chandra. Let's gut him.
Get up, you cowardly dog! Face us!
His will has been broken by his own hands. His threat to us is over.
Turn and face me. If you had only waited to speak to us once since this chaos began, she would still be alive.
Is revenge what lies behind your words? Do you think I do not know that? Yet even knowing our conflicts, what could happen? You chose to bring her here. Just a girl, and the last of my line. But stay your weapons, your spells, lest this tragedy give birth to another. Kill me now, and this place will collapse, and we will all die. In my blindness, I have done a great wrong. Perhaps it is not too late to rectify it. And where one was lost, I still might save you all. Only a fraction of power remains in my haven. But it will be enough to take us from this place.
Here.
So that's Jerro. Not dead after all. Glad we made sure of that before running into his labyrinth of demons.
Yes, he is alive, and he is much more powerful than Tales ever indicated.
More powerful than some wizard, anyway.
More powerful than you, Aquara, and you would do well to believe me.
So what now? We imprison him? Throw him to the watch?
Tell me you're joking. He'll send the entire district to the abyss, and then he'll come after us.
Justice must be served. But I am not certain he would find justice within Neverwinter's walls.
We could throw him off the docks.
I say we get what we need from him, then take care of him. No one needs to know.
He murdered Chandra Jerro, and he must answer for it. But we will not answer murder with murder.
I'm sorry. I still don't understand what went wrong. Was there no way to stop Chandra from doing what she did? It just makes no sense.
There is no sense to be made of it, Grabnar. Now we must simply accept. It is our leader I am worried about.
The will of Jerro is broken, and this makes him dangerous. But no, it also makes him of use.
He killed Chandra, and he must answer for that crime.
Know that Chandra killed herself in breaking the circles to save us. Amon merely hastened that end. Among my people, what Chandra did is a thing of honor, and its consequences should be honored as well. Know that Amon is the enemy of the Githyanki, and all he has done to fight the King of Shadows. It would be well for us to share words with him. If his knowing becomes ours, our strength increases. Speak to him, and see where his allegiances lie.
Fine.
Why did you bring her to my haven? Even though she was of my bloodline, you knew she did not have the strength to survive there.
You were supposed to be dead. We needed your research on the Silver Swords to fight the King of Shadows.
I have only recently escaped my imprisonment in the lower planes. And since then, I have fought to re-establish my stronghold and gather my forces, which you have ruined with your carelessness. As you know, the King of Shadows is growing in power as well. And the King of Shadows, he has won a victory against us this day without striking a blow.
You're not the King of Shadows, so what's your part in this?
I have fought the King of Shadows before. As soon as I became aware of the threat he represented to Neverwinter, to the realms, I fought him. I have made pacts. I have studied him, tried to learn his weaknesses and the extent of his power. And always it has been a war with few victories. Surely you know of the ritual of purification. You should know that I have performed part of the ritual myself already. Without it, we cannot strike at the King of Shadows, and the battle is lost before it begins.
I am familiar with the ritual to free him, but that doesn't seem to be enough.
The King of Shadows is no mortal creature. He is not human. More a force than anything else. But there is something that can harm him. Those shards you have. They are part of the Sword of Gith.
Kalakcha.
Once the King of Shadows was driven back by Gith-Yankee warriors wielding hundreds, maybe thousands of those blades. But the Sword of Gith is more than a simple silver sword. It can wound the King of Shadows, like it did once long ago. A part of the blade got lodged in your chest in the battle in West Harbor when you were a child. And whether you like it or not, you are now that weapon. The more shards you gather, the stronger that weapon becomes. Together, we can stop the King of Shadows, and we must.
Together?
I have completed part of the ritual of purification. If you kill me, the battle is lost as soon as my heart stops beating. Without me, you cannot win. Whatever punishments you think I deserve, I will suffer 1,000-fold. Well beyond anything your small mind can imagine. But I will strike at the King of Shadows before I leave this plane. And you will have no stronger ally than I in this, both in knowledge and power.
Very well. What's our next move?
Then we must gather our forces against the King of Shadows. Even now, his presence is extending from the Mare of Dead Men. The high road has become impassable. My scouts, now vanished, reported legions of shadows and undead stirring within the mare, and a sphere of darkness expanding from the heart of the swamp, killing all life it touches. We cannot stop him alone. With my powers weakened, my demons are no longer bound to me. You will need an army to face him.
Very well then. I suppose that will be our task. We shall speak with you, see if you have any further information.
Yes?
I had some questions for you, Jerro.
No doubt.
What can you... Oh, geez, we have a lot. What can you tell me about the King of Shadows?
That is a long tale. Some pieces of the tale I gave when we escaped. But there is more, yes. As you probably already know, the King of Shadows was once a creation. A guardian of Ilfan. By tapping into the power of the Weave, the source of all magic in Faerun, Ilfan sought to make an invincible protector to shield its borders.
But it became corrupted.
Yes. Ilfan's enemies, the Netherese, in their quest for power, ended up disrupting the Weave. The Guardian relied on the Weave to sustain itself. Without it, it was forced to seek another source of power in order to continue to protect Ilfan. It found a darker source of magic, the Shadow Weave, and tapping into it, transformed the Guardian of Ilfan into something else, the King of Shadows.
But it became corrupted.
Yes,
Oh,
the
we
Guardian
already have
found a darker
Who was the
source.
Guardian?
A man, perhaps. Who it was, I was never able to determine. But whoever it was, he was willing to give up himself to protect his empire. Give up his sense of self, his identity. It is no small sacrifice.
You sound sympathetic.
There is a certain sympathy I have for such a man. For someone willing to make that choice.
What do you mean?
He cast away his family, his ties to his people, and he ended up suffering for it while attempting to save them. Such a motivation is not hard to understand. Even more now, to see the King of Shadows reviled for what he has done, and knowing that at its core, he sought only to protect the people under his care. Now, its people are gone, and even knowing its failure, it still seeks to protect its empire and, most importantly, itself.
How will it do that?
If it frees itself, it will seek to destroy anything that threatens it. You first, then I. Then it will destroy all civilization on the Sword Coast, where its former empire lay. And from then on, I do not know what it will do. But the coast shall become as the mare is now, lifeless. Its only people raised from the dead to become the shades of the new Ilfarn Empire.
I had some other
No
questions. Why do you want to stop the King of Shadows?
Why do I wish to stop the King of Shadows? Perhaps this is a question you should ask yourself, since your motivation in all of this has been unclear from the start.
What do you mean?
Does he threaten you specifically? Do you feel that the Sword Coast cast beneath shadow would be an unwelcome thing? All life turned to death and ghosts? Or perhaps you would simply sleep better at night, knowing that a twisted remnant of the Ilfarn Empire was as dead and buried as they are.
The people of the Sword Coast do not deserve the suffering and death that the King of Shadows will cause.
I think you will find we are of the same opinion on the matter, though I suspect our methods differ. I wish to stop the King of Shadows because he is a threat to not only the people of Neverwinter, but to the Sword Coast and Farron itself. That is all, and while simple, it is the truth. Despite whatever onus has been placed on my actions, desperate measures were required to stop him the first time, and will be again. More can be saved as a result, and that is all that matters now.
So, for the greater good?
Yes, an unpopular idea for anyone who does not truly see the threat to this plane.
An ill-thought idea for anyone who's willing to take the fast road rather than the correct one.
And that, Captain, is why you will need me in the times ahead, and why I will bear your presence for now.
Other questions?
No doubt.
I'd like to know more about your past.
Yes, I imagine the history books have little to say on the matter, aside from my many misdeeds. Which is how I wished it.
The Jerro family was once part of the highest nobility of Neverwinter. When growing up, I displayed a certain aptitude for magic, especially the magic tied to the lower planes.
With little training, I was able to do spells well beyond my years, and well beyond any training I received in the academies and elsewhere.
Even so, how did you gain the power you have now, or had?
Gain it? With the lower planes, the power is always there. It just needs a focus and the will to control it.
In my case, it did not take long to master that power. The greater discipline came in using it sparingly so that few could see.
Why'd you do that?
When one displays such power, it does not grant you freedom. It becomes a cage and makes you a target. You will be constantly beset by the problems of others, who will see your power as an excuse to compensate for the lack of theirs. That is never a position I want to be in, nor a philosophy I wish to encourage in others. Nevertheless, I displayed enough talent to be accepted by the Neverwinter court, to be the Jester Mage.
Seems a step down from your aspirations, and your talent level.
To make my intentions plain, it was a position of convenience and opportunity. One of many. The position allowed me to obtain access to many of the secrets of the Neverwinter, as well as free access to the Academy libraries, their vaults, and the court records. Also, I thought that perhaps my position might give me a greater voice when attempting to convince others of threats that beset us. But that proved to be an ill-founded conclusion.
You said that position was one of many?
Oh yes, I had several teachers. Many are dead now through unfortunate circumstances, but not by my hand, I assure you. I sought teaching not only in Neverwinter and Waterdeep, but also across the plains from infernal allies, and even from the Arcane Brotherhood in Luskan.
The Arcane Brotherhood?
Yes. Provided one can stomach their politics, they have a vast library of knowledge to draw upon. And I also wish to study their workings from within, in case I needed to defeat them one day. Oddly enough, it was by walking these dark paths that I saw the greater threats we faced. Shadows were growing stronger around the Mayor of the Dead Men. This was due to the growing power of the King of Shadows.
And what did you do?
I attempted to warn the court of Neverwinter of this, but they were too busy vying for power and holding blades to each other's throats to listen. So I sought allies elsewhere, amongst demons and devils, and even the Githyanki. And I used all the power I had, which was considerable. And by waging a war, by the nature of my allies, I became something others feared. I even gained the name of my enemy, as you proved when you first encountered me in my haven. To think you believed me to be our mutual enemy. The irony runs deep, indeed.
If you were fighting the King of Shadows, why were you fighting us?
Was I ever fighting you? All I recall is you tripping across my path, and my servants. Perhaps if you had sought another means to make your intentions known, we could have coordinated our efforts and none of this need ever have happened.
You blame me?
Of course I blame you. You trampled like a fool child through ruins and libraries, disrupting my search, disrupting my goals. You should have stayed out of affairs you had no knowledge of.
We would have crossed paths eventually. You needed the shards.
Indeed. And for the sake of amusement, perhaps you can tell me what you would have done.
If you hadn't shut yourself off from the people you were trying to protect, we wouldn't have had the troubles we had.
I concede there is some truth in what you say. But my actions, in light of Neverwinter's view on my goals, I believe were perfectly understandable. Still, you have given me something to think about.
Other questions?
No doubt.
Why did you choose now to reveal yourself?
I have only recently escaped my imprisonment in the lower plains. And since then, I have fought to re-establish my stronghold and gather my forces, which you have ruined with your carelessness.
And how did you get free?
Let us simply say I had help in the matter, and leave it for another time. It has no bearing on our present situation.
Fine.
No doubt.
If I may ask, where were you being held?
Let us leave it for another time. It has no bearing on... No doubt.
Why was it such a surprise that Chandra was alive?
How any of my kin managed to survive is a mystery to me. It seems the Jerro line is more resilient than I thought. But yes, I thought the Jerro line had been ended in the war with the King of Shadows. During the battles that waged near the Mare, near Highcliff, there was so much chaos, I thought what remained of my family was lost. Now, they truly are.
Was it the loss of your family that drove you to fight?
This useless tracking through old memories has no bearing on our current quest. Let us focus on the present, not what or why I did things in the past.
Fine, then.
No doubt.
A different question.
During the battles that waged near the Mare, no doubt.
What do you know about the Silver Shards?
The shards, including the one lodged within you, are part of the Sword of Gith. Its history is a tiresome one. Ask the Githzerai if you would know more. She could no doubt recite countless metaphors concerning Gith and Zerthaman. The importance of the shards is that once recast into a blade, it is likely to have the power to harm the King of Shadows, and as such, is vital to our quest.
Why only the silver swords?
I do not know. Perhaps their extraplanar origin is what makes the King of Shadows vulnerable to them. There may be some secret in their creation that is unknown to me, that may make them effective as well. Regardless, the King of Shadows is vulnerable to them, and to the Sword of Gith most of all.
Alright,
No doubt.
Other questions. You said you completed the last part of the Ritual of Purification.
I did. But before I could reach the other statues, the Shadow Reaver arrived, and even with my allies, I could not stand against him. Now each of us bears the necessary pieces of the ritual, and together, we are the only ones who can harm him. Like it or not, we need each other if we are to succeed.
How can the ritual stop the King of Shadows?
If the Githzerai did not already explain, the ritual is designed to unmake the Ilfarn Guardian, which the King of Shadows once was, and still is in part. But the Guardian is a shell, a vessel for what the King of Shadows has become. When it drew life from the Shadow Weave long ago, it became something else, something greater. Still, its outer skin is that of the Guardian. We must break that armor first, and once shattered, then we may strike at his essence.
When do we perform the ritual?
We must do it within the King of Shadows' fortress, as near to his heart as possible. Within the Mare of Dead Men, or the Mare-de-Lane as the Druidess calls it. There is where we must go.
The mare is surrounded by a cloud that devours life.
Yes, I know. I do not know how to defeat such a shield yet, but we must find a way.
Once the shell is broken, how do we strike at his essence?
To do that, we'll require the Sword of Gith, which you carry with you. The silver swords of the Githyanki are the only weapons I have seen that have harmed the King of Shadows, and the Sword of Gith is the mightiest of such weapons.
But the Sword of Gith is broken.
That fact did not escape me. We will need to remake it if we are to succeed.
Do you know how to reforge the sword?
No, but it is something we must discover, and soon. I do not believe reforging the sword will require all the shards. But as I have never done such a thing, I do not know for certain. The Githzerai who travels with us may know more. In that, she may have some use.
Are you sure the sword of Gith can kill the King of Shadows?
No.
So what are our chances of success?
I do not know. Greater than nothing, I suspect. But it is a chance we must take.
What does your ritual power allow you to do?
When the time is right, I will show you, not before. Part of power comes in knowing when to keep it a secret, and sharing it only with those you trust.
Of course.
No doubt.
Let's see. Where did you get the Sword of Gith?
Some secrets I must have. But suffice to say that there are eyes throughout the plains that see more than I.
One last question. Why do you have such disdain for Zahavi?
Disdain? I hardly consider her worthy of emotion at all. She is a blind follower, an adherent of her own people's history. There is blindness in such things.
She has fought beside me against the King of Shadows, and is worthy of respect.
Indeed, such a noble view. But she is but one. What of her people? Where are they against this threat? We need allies who understand our enemy, yet her people do nothing. The people of Farron are ignorant of the King of Shadows, yes, but her people are not.
I know why Zahavi's people cannot enter the conflict.
Indeed. And why is that?
If they were to enter the conflict, the Githyanki would fight them instead of the King of Shadows.
And again I ignore politics in my haste to do battle. I had thought that perhaps because they were not tied to Farron and the courts of Neverwinter, the people of Gith would have a broader view. But I forget the unreasoning hatred of the Githyanki. The fear of such a division in battle should the Githzerai join the conflict. There is wisdom in such a decision.
Zahavi is brave in risking herself to help us. She does so knowing she will most likely die.
That is the decision we all made. And the truth of such a decision is that in having made it, we are the only ones who can act. Do not defend her over much. There is more she could do, and her people's involvement in this conflict could be more than it is.
Very well. Let's move on. Jerro. He and I do not get along very well, do we? He is a very for the greater good kind of person. Even with all these conversations. Let's see. With the influence, lost 1, gained 3. Lost 1, gained 1, lost 1. That's basically where he stands now. We haven't gotten much influence, but we tried. That said, I think I'm going to have to end this episode here, as it's gone on way too long. Chandra's gone. It looks like we have someone here to speak with us. We'll speak with them after the next in the next episode. Till then, I am Chester44. That is Travis Ignam and all our companions. This has been a Let's Play of Neverwinter Nights 2, and I shall see you all next time.